Hello, hello, and welcome to the stream this evening. Welcome to PSR. Oh, we are in the Ferrari F430 Scuderia this evening. All night long. One car, all night. We're doing 4 tracks. Spa, Francorchamps. Then we're going to be off to Trial Mountain. And then we've got the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve and then Marina. Well, there might be a couple of others afterwards, depending on how we get through these ones tonight. Depending how it goes, I'm thinking about doing qualifying for each race because I think that will be pretty good. Just a quick 5-minute qualifier. So some of them are going to be real flyers, but we're going to be out in this car and just enjoying it and seeing how things go. Just want to say good evening to Gamer Dan and Hulky Racing, Greg White, William, all in the room. Jonesy's in, Ollie's in. Good evening. Nest Sim Racing and Max is in. Evening all. Can I ask for some advice? I currently have a Fanatec version 2. You asked that question the other day, my friend. You asked that question the other way. Good evening from Grenster as well. And I can see that Nick Humphrey's in. Just whilst I'm going to put you on the big screen. Just while you're watching Wills, I'm just going to reply to Max because he did ask that question the other day. And I would imagine that he has not heard. Let me just pop that one out there. Okay, so that's just answered his question, I hope. They're definitely, I mean, direct drive compared to belt driven every single day of the week. I've got I had a belt driven wheel for the longest time. And actually I got a G29 pretty much when they first came out. And I loved it. It was amazing. And I raced on that for the longest time. In fact, I raced on that until the Logitech DD Pro came out, or Logitech Pro, or whatever they call it now. Their first direct drive wheel, and that was the first time I upgraded. And I've kept my G29 in the loft as a backup should the direct drive wheel ever fail. But I tell you now, if this direct drive wheel ever fails, I will either A, get it repaired like PDQ, or put an order straight in for a new one, because I couldn't imagine racing without anything, without this thing now. The True Force feedback that you get through is particularly in Gran Turismo. The finesse, the granularity, the feeling, the poise, everything that you can get from it is just amazing. And I dare say it's the same with Thrustmaster and Fanatec and the other options that are out there now. And I know that people are looking now at the Fanatec podium wheel that's like 30 Newton meters. That give you a major workout on those wheels. And yeah, I would go that route every single day of the week, without any question. So we're at Spa. We are, as I said, we're in the Ferrari 430 Scuderia. And you can see that there's going to be a bit of rain in this one. What's going to happen at the end, who knows? And we're on sports tyres, so there won't be any diving into the pits for intermediate tyres for this one. Will be very interesting. Dan and Jack Kobe, or Gamer Dan, getting it big sideways. There's a few of them out in pink cars tonight. I can see that some of them have actually been doing liveries. So you've got Gamer Dan in the pink Panther car there. He's got that very sideways into the side of Jack Kobe there and going around. And we got Sim Racing in a black car. Stiggy's in the red. And Jack Kobe's in a plain red car. A little bit mangled after hitting Gamer Dan there. Greg White is in a pink and white car. They're struggling with the weather a little bit here. But he is in the the pink with the white bonnet and the white stripe on the side of it. I don't know if it's got any pink something. Pink team, team pink, pink team. There we go. Pink team. Co-reduced pro on the side of that one. Ollie, pure pink, the special one on the back. He doesn't need to say anything more than that, than just the special one. We all know. We all know. Gr.x in the yellow car. And then we've got Hulky is in the room. He's also in a pink car. What livery's he got? He was in SpongeBob, I think. Was he in SpongeBob? No. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. Borky, I think, was SpongeBob on Friday. I can't remember. I cannot remember. Anyway, it's 5 past. He's in the pink one. Number 1 Pop's also in a pink one. Oh, that's very girly. All very girly. Pink and white one. Definitely Barbie pink, that one. Definitely Barbie pink. Oh, if I was racing, I'd be chasing that one down. Unfortunately, I cannot race at the moment. Jonesy in the lime green one. Wheels in the blue. I think that's probably most of them that we have been through. So, yeah, tonight I'm not racing again this week. I have unfortunately got pressure back in my head again, which is not good. And not going to go into any more than that, other than I need to get myself sorted out. So I doubt if I'm going to be racing this week. I will not be racing on Friday, so no Friday night special. And that is why all of this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, I am doing picking one car, and we're running one car, with the exception of Thursday, when something quite unusual might happen. I have an iron in the fire, shall we say. I've put some feelers out for something a little bit different, and I am waiting to hear back from somebody on that. If it comes off, it comes off. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Jonesy, good evening. Bogey green. Yes, it certainly is a bit on the old green side. Yeah, so Thursday, the last one of the week, could be an interesting one. I'll give you some more details on that as we go through the week. Tomorrow night, I'm probably, because I really want to see the BMW M2s out there and what you guys can do with it. So I may well go with the BMW M2 tomorrow. And if I do that, I will be throwing in a drifty track, probably around Tokyo East. And then on Wednesday, I'm open to another car of choice. I have noticed that somebody else, I think it was GT Army's, put a whole load of different cars in there, but I'm not quite sure which of those are readily available, which are at a reasonable price, and I may well pick one from there, unless of course somebody else comes in with something. We shall have to see. Right, so we're 8 minutes past. I will be drinking quite a fair bit tonight, because that is part of what I need to do. I'm not drinking enough at the moment, and that may well be part of the reason why my head is the way that it is. The other thing as well is, if I'm a bit quiet, or if I'm a bit off, or I'm repeating myself, or my concentration is waning, I apologise, guys. It is just part of what I'm going through right now. And I do hope to be back racing as soon as possible. I am missing it more than you could know. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm just missing it so much right now. Desperately want to get out and race. But I did come back racing a little bit too quickly last time, and I don't want to do the same, so I am taking it a little bit easy. Right, we are at 9 minutes past. Who have we got? We've got 12 runners so far. Well, actually, we've got 11 runners, because I'm taking one of the places. We've got Jacoby, Greg White, Gamer Dan, Ollie, Wheels Racing, Hulky, Jonesy, Sim Racing, Number 1 Pops, Gr.x, Stiggy, and I will obviously be commentating through this one. With any luck, I won't be getting too excited like I did on Friday. Oh my gosh, did we have some fantastic races on Friday. It was unbelievable. But I did get a little bit excited. I did overdo it a little bit on Friday. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. We did overdo it a little bit, but it was good. It was fun. It was brilliant. It was great. We had basically multi-class racing on Friday, and we had the slower cars, the road cars, would go off on sports soft tyres a minute before the GR3 cars went off on racing tyres. And yeah, there was some of them were getting caught, some of them weren't, and some of them were working together to not get caught, and all sorts of stuff. It was absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. Right, we are going to be going racing. Let's hit the road. Jonesy says, Blue Oyster Bar is getting set up at the bus stop for all of you. Oh, it sounds like they may well have been parking up somewhere. I might have missed that, but never mind. Right, so we will spectate, and serious racing tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be very, very interesting to see what these guys can do with these cars. As I said, these are Ferraris on road tyres for this one. So the Sport Soft tyres pretty much throughout. If anybody does want to change that up, then they can shout it out. But at the end of the day, I am planning on just going this one. Oh, Jones is saying Police Academy was on before. Ah, I see. Whoa, Stiggy going awfully wide there through Eau Rouge. So I don't know if that is going to be a penalty for the out lap. Yeah, I think he's going to need to quit out that one and come back out again, because otherwise he's going to struggle. Remember, guys, we've only got 5-minute qualifiers on this, so you haven't really got enough time to go out, do a lap, come in and go out again. It's really just a flying lap, and then, well, an out lap and a flying lap. So Stiggy, if you're listening, if I was you, I would quit out that one, jump back into the pits, get rid of that penalty, because otherwise you are going to struggle. You are going to struggle big time. I'm going to put some replay details on, and we'll just see how we go. But we got Hulky's out front at the moment. Oh, Dan's got a half-second penalty too. So I'm surprised these guys are not actually jumping in the pits to come out on another run, because we got 5 minutes. I don't know, there might be time. What is it? Is it a 2-minute lap around here? Mr. Veteran, good afternoon. Looks like lots of fun. Oh, I'm hoping it will be. I wish I was out racing with these guys. It should be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting as well, because you can see there Hulky's got a big wing on the back of his car. Gamer Dan doesn't. So some of these cars have got aero and some of them don't. Going to be interesting. I wonder how many people are going to jump out and whack a wing on their cars halfway through. Could be quite interesting. Mr. Veteran saying it is 4:12 where he is. Where are you, Mr. Veteran? That sounds like East Coast USA, I would guess. Sunny Florida, maybe? I don't know. Right, so as you come across the line, Hulky will start his first flying lap at 2:36. So, if they're quick, they will potentially get another lap. So it looks like they have actually cleared their penalties on that out lap, which is good to know. I was worried that it was going to carry around, but they have got rid of those, and they did make the right decision to carry on. Never listen to the commentator. He really doesn't know what he's doing. Or Hulky pushing track limits there, and Gamer Dan almost dropping it. Coming over the top of Eau Rouge there. That looked like there's been some horrific accidents over the top of Eau Rouge in recent years. And that did look like, Dan with a half-second penalty. That did look like that was going to be a massive wreck. So Dan is going to have to try and get round, serve the penalty, and then do another one. He's going to be under enormous pressure with that penalty there. Florida, there we go. I'm good, aren't I? Oh, sunny Florida in the good old US of A. I got a few people from America. I don't know if we've got any in this evening. It looks like we're mostly UK flags, with the exception of Dan that we're on in the South African flag flying. Wheels going well. Gr.x with a half-second penalty. Do you know what? Some of the top racers here are pushing track limits. We just saw Ollie sliding off as well there with the four-wheel slide through there. No such shenanigans from Wills or Jack Kobe. They seem to be okay. Ollie getting away with it, but Ollie's really off the track on most of these corners, as he's really getting the car, the four-wheel slide drifting off to the side of the track in a lot of instances right now. So Ollie is really pushing the car, finding the feel for it. This race could well be a case of seeing how this car goes, where you can push it, where you can't, getting the balance. It's one of the things I do love about these one make nights is very often people will start and they'll struggle in the first race, and then as they go through the night they just get more settled and quicker. It's like, you know, when the Formula One racing drivers get in the cars and for the first time at Barcelona and you know, in their testing, and they're like, oh, this feels horrible, and it's like they've just got to get used to the new cars with the new regulations, and then by the time they hit the grid for the first race, they are on it, they know it, and they're ready to rumble. Unfortunately with me, well, I give them 4 races, and by the time they get to the 4th race, if you're anything like me, you're just about getting used to the car, and then we put it in the garage and it doesn't come out again. Gr.x 2:28.6 is the time that we are chasing. Ollie with a 2:29.4, so some 0.878 behind. Dan 1.1 off the pace. Hulky 1.8 back, and then Sim Racing 2.9. It looks like a lot of these guys are not going to get an additional lap, so it was 1 and a flyer. So those guys that have put in the track limits and picked up a track limit penalty, they are going to be potentially suffering in this one. So we could get a couple of people out of position. Gr.x saying, Team Pink, let's go. This is Gr.x's car. There you go, Team Pink, the topless gang. PSR Racing. Oh, is Gr.x racing topless tonight? Is he racing topless? Oh dear, I don't know. We shall see. Greg out front, and then Ollie second. Gamer Dan in third. Hulky fourth. So we got what? Pink, 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 lime green. So the top 4 all pink. What is it with pink tonight? Number 1 Pops is pink. And then we get Sim Racing in black. So 5 of the top 6 are all in pink cars. Maybe that is the thing tonight. Pink will go like stink around Spa tonight. Gamer Dan says this car feels like it's missing a steering wheel. It's not missing a steering wheel, my friend. It is the nut behind the wheel. It is missing a solid nut behind the wheel. That's what it is. That's what it needs. That's what it needs. Now we shall see. It'll be interesting to see how people settle down in this one. Oh, Jack Kobe with a half-second penalty. Don't think he's set a time. He wants to go from the back. Stiggy has just banged in the fastest lap. Right at the very end there, a 2:28.4 has stolen the crown from Gr.x to lead us away on this one. I don't see anybody else doing anything in this one now. Shock result at Spa right at the very last moment. Stiggy bangs it on the front of the grid. So he's going to be lining up against Gr.x on row number 1. Just, well, a 1/10 and a half of a second between them. Ollie and Gamer Dan will be on row 2 with Hulky and Jonesy on row 3. Number 1 Pops and Sim Racing row 5. Galactica and Wheels Racing on 6. And then Jack Kobe at the back. Those will be your runners. Right, okay, let's get into this one. Sim Racing, I didn't get the memo, read the livery. You don't have to do a livery. You don't have to. It's just a lot of them are doing pink to try and wind me up. Little do they know I really don't care. I love it though, it's fun. Mitch is just keeping his love for pink cars deep down. That's exactly, Ollie. Outlaw on pole. Outlaw on pole, Jonesy? No. Outlaw's on 7. Yeah. Oh yes, an outlaw on pole. Sorry. Yes. Yes, Stiggy, one of the outlaws, is banged it in on pole there, and the outlaws do a lot of racing in the road cars. So could be good today, could be good tomorrow as well. If you don't care, fine. SpongeBob SquarePants from here on. Oh my gosh, what have I done? What have I done? I've opened the floodgates now. We're going to Barbie pink. We can have Barbie cars. We're going to have SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, my word. Here we go. Here we go. Stiggy is going to lead us away. Greg White has dropped. Ollie's actually just got up inside of Greg White into the first corner. And Gamer Dan has got himself really nicely positioned there. Poor old Greg White getting hung out to dry on the outside. But he does manage to maintain third at the moment as we come down the hill towards Eau Rouge. They are going to have to... I mean, you can't go through Eau Rouge in these cars 2x2. So, yeah, those 4 cars. Oh, my gosh, as they go past the camera there. So together. Whoa, we got somebody way off there. I think that was Hulky in the background with a major slide out of Eau Rouge. And getting it big old sideways. I might be wrong because it was so close. It was difficult to see who that was. Hulky looking like he has got the half-second penalty is him. So I think that he did get it very leery coming out of the top of Eau Rouge there. And certainly giving it everything. So 10 out of 10 for commitment. And, well, 1 out of 10 for getting a penalty. Oh, dear. Whoa, we got another one off. We got a pink car that's going a little bit wide through there. I think that was number 1. Who's just joining a little bit further back at the moment. And Galacticor in 11th at the moment. But it is Ollie out front, but not for long because he has got a 1-second penalty. And I tell you now, the penalties around here, they hurt and they hurt bad. So Ollie could well find himself back in maybe 4th or 5th place, which is a real... Well, looking at how close it is with the cars behind, it could be even worse than that. He could be going from hero to zero in just a moment as he gets ready to decelerate around this corner. Stiggy using all of the curb and more there, risking the AstroTurf. That's brave. Very, very, very brave. Ollie's now going to move out the way, pull to one side. He's going to serve that penalty. And he's just going to sit and watch people flying by. Actually, is he? He's on the power. He's only lost 2 places. Whoa, we got a car. We got a car bouncing across the back of the pack there. I don't know who that was. It was a red car. I think that was Stiggy. That was Stiggy, I think, all over the place there. Well off the track. He's got a half-second penalty as well now. So hopefully penalties won't come into this too much. But we will see how things go as we get through this particular race. We're on lap 2 of 6, just starting now. And we've got Gamer Dan out front by 0.6 of a second. Greg White behind. He's 1.1 ahead of Ollie, who's 1.2 ahead of Hulky, who's half a second ahead of Jonesy. Half a second to Wheels, half a second to Stiggy, and then 1.4 back to number 1 Pops. And then only half a second back to Sim Racing, 2 to Galacticor, and then on Jack Kobe. What has happened to Kobe? What on... Somebody, I didn't see that, but somebody's going to have to tell me what happened to Kobe. Having a mare, he's 10 seconds behind. He is going to have to... He's going to have to absolutely fly now, is Kobe. He's so far back. Wow, that is going to be worth watching the replay later on to see what's happened to the PSR alien. At the moment, we've got people showing him the way, but I've got a funny feeling he's going to be really, really on it in this particular one. So it's Gamer Dan out front. It is the Pink Brigade. 4 pink cars out front at the moment. And Wheels Racing is going well in 5th. Stiggy in 6th at the moment. Remember, Stiggy did start on the front row of the grid. So we'll see how he does. Remember, he banged that lap time in right at the end. So we've been through the wet period. And he really banged that lap time in right at the end really, really nicely. So anything can happen here. Stiggy could come well back into this. And the 2 Outlaw drivers going very, very close together at the moment. Stiggy has got number 1 Pops 2.5 seconds behind. Oh, Stiggy with that half-second penalty. That is going to drop him right back into the clutches of number 1. And then we're going to have the 2 Outlaw racers will be able to run together. Except, as I say that, I just picked up the number 1 Pops also has a half-second penalty. So the Outlaws, well, they're breaking the rules. They're breaking the rules all over the place and picking up penalties for it. That's going to hurt, I think. Oh, Wheels right on the back of Hulkie. Hulkie with a half-second penalty as well there, just as they follow each other through the final chicane to come across the line. Or Wheels with a beautiful little line underneath Hulkie. Hulkie keeping his foot in. He is going to have the inside line, I think. Oh, into the corner he doesn't. He actually pulls back to follow Wheels through. He's just having a little bit of a look up the inside, but I don't think he's going to be able to get that one done. And I think Wheels is going to be on his way. And Hulkie is probably going to have to tuck in behind for a rouge. He does. Now, Hulkie, please keep it smooth and tidy through a rouge. Don't go wide. Whoa, he's still on it. It's Hulkie. I think he might have picked up another half-second there. Did look like it was all four wheels off the track. It is. It's half-second. Oh, Hulkie. He's going to have to be on it now. Stiggy will have seen that. Stiggy's going to be thinking, oh, good, there's not only fifth to have here, but also maybe fourth. And then, where are we? We got Gaber Dan is half a second out front, but Gr.x has picked up a half-second penalty. We've got penalties galore. Do you know what? Just because I'm not racing here, everybody's decided to pick up penalties. They're all doing a Mitch Morgan. The old... in the steward's office, we had some of the marshals in at the beginning of the race, and they were asking if I was racing. There was a big collective sigh when I said that I wasn't racing this evening, and quite clearly they've got together and they've thought, right, if Mitchell's not around, we're going to nail everybody else. So at the moment, Dan is fine, Gr.x has a penalty, Ollie's fine, Wheels is fine at the moment, Hulkie with a 1 second, Stiggy's fine, Sim Racing is fine, number one Pops is okay at the moment. Jonesy with a half-second penalty, and Jack Kobe has now managed to get past Galactico, who we just see going off in the background. That's a shame. He's pushing hard. He's 7.7, as we can see. He looks a little bit damp around there, just where he was. I don't think the rain is coming just yet, or maybe it is. We're not seeing any windscreen wipers on at the moment, and we will not see any of the cars diving in to the pits for tyres, because we're on sports tyres. Whoa, Gr.x going hugely wide through that corner. So it looks like the grip levels are going off in this one. Ollie's brake is glowing absolutely red hot there, as he puts all the energy through the brake disc to get that car slowed down. But Gamer Dan 1.6 out front at the moment, setting best times. He's done a 2:28.7 and a 2:28.1. There's Ollie. Gamer Dan a 2:28.6 and a 2:28.2. And then Gr.x is setting 2:29s and 2:28s, so it's all pretty even with these three out front. They're still almost together. Ollie is going to be groaning now. The windscreen wipers are on. He hates wet weather. He's going to be squawking at me. He's going to be wishing I hadn't done this, but you know what I'm like. And Gamer Dan threw a blinder last week when the rain was coming in one of the races that we did. Absolutely the right tyres at the right time, and came in for a really nice win. It's one of the championship races, and actually I didn't throw the weather in, it was Hulkie that threw the weather in, and Borky did well in that one too. Rasta Rick, good evening my friend, how are you? He says hello guys, hello to you, hope you are well. I'm looking at these Ferraris, and Gamer Dan seems to have his reverse lights on. I don't know whether Ollie and Gr.x do as well, but it's a bit of white light on the back of his car, which sort of looks like his reversing lights are stuck on. Oh no, Ollie's is the same. Very strange. Oh, Ollie with a big old slide through there, bouncing across the curbs, just trying to get up the inside of Gr.x. Couldn't quite pull that one off. That would have been very audacious if he'd managed to do that. He really would have been the special one. But for now, just dropping back to 0.7 of a second with the back end of that car moving around a little bit. So, tell you what, Gr.x is on the move here. He's managed to close the gap up to 0.8 on Gamer Dan. So, Dan has lost over a second in the wet weather at the moment, and Gr.x is really on it. He's gapped Ollie by a second now, and Wheels is 3 seconds back at the moment, and Stiggy another 3 seconds back, and then 1.3 back to Hulkie, 2 seconds back to Sim Racing, 1.3 back to number one Pops, but Oh, Kobe and Jonesy just going through on number one Pops. Number one Pops very respectfully staying out of the way of those guys. Oh, as Jonesy and Kobe both going off there. Jonesy really wide. So we just got these three cars together here. Jack Kobe picking up half a second. Jonesy picking up half a second. And number one Pops, well, he let them both through. They both decided to throw it off the track. And now number one Pops is sitting there giggling to himself thinking, ha ha, boys, you threw it off. I kept it on. I'm going to stay with you now. And just see what he can do. He's just trying to, oh, don't go off onto that Astro number one. So we got Jonesy and Kobe. Kobe on the outside. Jonesy on the inside. Not a lot between these two as they go into a rouge. Jonesy just tucks in behind. Jack Kobe going over the top. We have got the yellow flags up. So it looks like we may well have an issue up front. Nobody's going to be able to overtake. We've got the green lights flashing now. So I suspect that that may well have been another car that was jumping over the curb. I think that could have been Wills. We can see Wills is just dropping back at the moment. He's down to 10th in this wet weather. So we got Galacticor in 11th. Some little way back, unfortunately. Wills Racing. He's 1.2 behind number one. Number one is 0.6 behind Jonesy and Kobe, but they've both got penalties, so that is all going to change around a little bit. Jack Kobe has managed to gap Jonesy by a second, and he is pulling away. So Kobe really trying to get onto this so that this penalty doesn't infringe him too much. And he's got Sim Racing and Hulky right in front of him. Remember, Jack Kobe is really recovering. As the lights go off, it looks like the rain has cleared. We have still got a damp track. But Jack Kobe was so far down the order at some time. He's had to absolutely fight his way through this one. He's up to 7th, and it looks like he's got Sim Racing is going to be the next on his target. We're on lap 5 of 6, so he's 10 seconds off the leaders. He's going to have to pull out something special to get up onto the podium. But never write him off. Hulky will be next down the road if Jack can get this done, but Sim Racing's keeping his boot in. Love that. No way through for Jack Kobe there. Sim Racing knew he had the inside. He kept his foot in, he kept his line, and Jack Kobe respectfully had to just back out of that one. So Sim Racing not making it easy for Jack Kobe. That we love. And I bet the Hulky is going to be breathing a sigh of relief to see Sim Racing between him and Jack Kobe. So where is Jack going to do it? Is he going to do it down through a rouge? Let's just stay on board with Kobe and Sim Racing at the moment. So these three very close together. Hulky, Sim Racing and Jack Kobe. There are battles all the way through this. You can see just behind that number one Pops and Jonesy are in a battle of their own. Oh, Sim Racing with a half-second penalty. He's doing such a good job of holding up Jack Kobe, but maybe the intimidation just getting the better of him ever so slightly. And Jack Kobe will have seen that, be giggling to himself. But Jack, I think he's had a penalty as well, hasn't he, today around here. So who knows what's going to happen. Can he get a move done up the inside? He can. Sim Racing now just tucking in behind Jack Kobe. Maybe he's playing the long game now, seeing that number one Pops and Jonesy closing up behind. He may well have let Kobe through to see if Kobe can pull him on, as we see number one Pops with a lovely little back end slide through there across the wet curbs. Out front it is Gamer down by 0.3 of a second and 0.4 to Ollie. So these three, the pink cars, really locked together as we get into the closing stages of this one. We've got the last little technical section and Gr.x getting it really sideways across the curb there. Ollie with no way through, but he will have seen how hard that Gr.x is pushing to try and get onto the back of Gamer Dan. Again, Gr.x all over the curbs. Dan taking a much more conservative defensive line, making that Ferrari super big. As I say that, Gamer Dan's car getting big sideways on the curb. Oh, Gr.x and Ollie chancing it with the Astro. I think Ollie was full on the Astro turf through there. Thankfully, he didn't drop that and find that the back end came round and he was obliterated into the barrier. He's kept it going, but I fear that has put him too far back now. But this is all about whether Gamer Dan can do a good chicane or whether Gr.x can get a lunge and get a move done. It's now all going to be about the exit out of this corner. They're so close together. There's going to be nothing between these guys on the line. Gr.x has got to run to the line, but I don't think it's enough. It isn't. It's 0.1 on the line, 0.6 back to Ollie. So close with those three. Stiggy's going to come across ahead of Jacoby in 5th, Hulky in 6th, Sim Racing in 7th. And then we've got Jonesy with wheels just behind. Number 1 Pops in 10th. And then we'll ride on board with Galacticor. Oh, Galacticor with the penalty. That's just served. And he is going to come home in 11th. But what a race that we had out front. The car's got a little bit sliding. Jacoby, I got reset for going off track. Mr. Kobe with a full-blown reset. Oh my word, that isn't something we see very often. Must have been a massive off for Kobe. But what a recovery. And Galacticor, kudos, respect for bringing it home. Nice work, my friend. Very nice work. Wow, Mr. Kobe throwing it off the track so far that he got a reset. Well, well, well. I can just imagine his dad sitting by side of him, and choice words being said. Those of you that are on our Discord will know what I'm going on about. Those of you who aren't, well, why aren't you? Why aren't you on our Discord? Oh my God, Jack, what did you do? How on earth did you manage to throw it off the track that far? That's insane. Was that over the top of Eau Rouge or something? Mr. Fury, good evening, my friend. How are you? Kept my foot in. He would have been proud. Right, your result. Gamer Dan, your winner for the first one, a 228.212. Gr.x in second with a 228.560, just 0.098 behind, to less than 1/10 of a second on the line. And I really thought that Greg had got that off the line. He had a great drag out of the last corner, but Gamer Dan just managing to keep it ahead. Ollie fell back just a little bit towards the end there. He was only 0.7 behind with a 228.210. Great racing between the three out front to take the 3 podium places. And then Stiggy started on the pole, dropped back a little bit and then recovered to 4th, which is a nice result. Jacoby absolutely flying after the reset, a 226.745. So he was really on it through that one to try and recover. Hulky with the 1 second penalty at the end for 6th. Sim Racing 7th. Jonesy in 8th. Wheels Racing 9th, number 1 Pops in 10th, and Galacticor in 11th. But your top 3, Gamer Dan, Gr.x and Ollie, but that really doesn't matter because there was some absolutely fantastic races going on throughout the pack there. And as I've said before many, many times, this is more about the change event settings. This is more about the individual winning your individual battle rather than being out front, because we do have everybody from A+ to E in here. Lots and lots and lots of different skill levels. Nick Humphrey says, are we allowed wings? Well, some of the guys have got wings on, so yes, it would appear that yeah, you can grab a wing. You can grab a wing if you want. Gamer Dan, the room is kicking people. Oh, I'll tell you what it is. Is it Jonesy and Hulky again? Jonesy's back in. I think that it is this blocking thing that's I think it is this. I don't know why the room is kicking people. I don't know, I haven't got a clue. Be interesting to see if Hulky gets back in. I can see Jones is back in. You could see completely transparent. I am not kicking anybody. It's just it's just what the game is doing, unfortunately. It pains me, but there's nothing I can do about it. Jack, Galactical, and it. Why? Why is it kicking those guys? You see some unusual names in there that got kicked out. Why? Wheels, Stiggy, Gamer Dan, Danny 84, Cody, Ollie, Sim, Greg. Oh, Hulk is saying goodnight to everybody. I hate this thing where I don't know. I don't understand it. I really don't. I really do not understand it. But I hate it because we had some great racing going on there, and I want Hulky racing with us. And I think Hulky's been. Hulky, can you not get back in again? Are you not able to get back in? Okay, Jack went to get a livery. Ness also jumped out. He wasn't kicked. Hello, Dave Capone. M-Tech hacking. I don't know. I don't think it's I don't think it's that. I don't. It's not him. It's not M-Tech. It's just a shame. It is just a shame, and it spoils it, unfortunately. And it makes me feel really sad. It makes me really sad. I know this is what I don't understand. Number one, they were both in, but what other streamers and hosts are telling me, or when I'm Googling it, and I did do a thing on Reddit, and I did a lot of homework on this. I spent several hours trying to work out what was going on, and it seems to be that if one has blocked another racer, if they both get in at the same time, then when the host sets the room for another track, both get kicked out. Or if one's in and then the other one tries to join, the second one will not get in. That's the way it seems to be. And I just want to see everybody racing. I don't. Well, like I've said, I'm not going to get excited about it. My decision is that the game decides. Whoever gets in first gets the space. I can't have favourites. I am not prepared to manipulate it. I host the room. I reset the room, as in reset the track, and it just is what it is. It is what it is. Right, we're going racing in just a moment, I'm afraid. So let's just have a little look and see where we are at. Dave Capone is a room killer. Absolutely, it's a room killer. And I've got, as a host, I have to be very, very careful because, you know, somebody could come in here and just block everybody and suddenly nobody can race. So, you know, whenever this is going on, I always have to start, and this is horrible, I have to start questioning everybody. You know, who's in, who's out, who might have caused it. It's just, and when we get somebody, you know, Jack, Galactical and Ness, but I think we're okay because Jack and Ness were okay. I'm a bit worried about Galactical. I'm concerned that Galactical got kicked. Very concerned. Yeah, just not very happy about that. Right, where are we? Whoa, Ollie, big air there. God, yeah, Gamer Down's just saying he's got a 2-minute dead. 2:00:00. Look at that. That's, oh, I love that. That really suits my OCD, that does. That really suits my OCD. Right, in this one, we have got Jacoby, Greg White. No, we have, yeah, we've got Jacoby, Greg White, Gamer Dan, Ollie, Wills, Danny, Drat Fury, Jonesy, Sim Racing, Number One Pops, Stiggy, and Hulky's just joining. So, so we got Hulky and Jonesy back in. So, I don't know. I don't understand it. Me no understandy. Me no. I think some of them may well have gone out for wings because who's got wings? We've got Greg White's got a wing. Ollie's got a wing. Drat Fury has a wing, as does Hulky and Jonesy. Sim Racing, Number One, and Stiggy all have wings. Right, let's get the qualifying underway. Let's get going. Hugh Hattrick, good evening, my friend. Hi, Mitchell. I've just bought a new house where I'll be in a garage for my streaming. I'll be able to play into the night. Oh, cool. Nice one. Nice. Drat Fury says, epic. I hope you get it well insulated. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Right, replay options. Let's see how we go. But thank you for popping in. We got 32 people watching, which is really good for me. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, guys, I would be hugely appreciative. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. My brain's not working again. It's the excitement of watching all of these guys going around so close and racing. Jacoby, I'm watching him for another reset. He's got, I love the number plate, F1 BGR. That, I know what that stands for. I can't say the word, first one. It's a bleep good racer. he's I'll let you think what the B stands for. Game it down. Going well. So he's managed to win one. Can he bring this home for a second? Will's racing now. He's not got the rain to worry about in this one. So let's see how he goes. He's running on track second at the moment. He's got Jacoby behind him, who's wow, really launching that Ferrari over the rises there. Dave says, why have people in your room blocked one another anyway? Because there are some politics that I don't know about and I don't want to know about. I'm afraid that some people have differences, and it happens. If you have a big enough community, at some point people are going to fall out, and obviously within Gran Turismo 7 you can block somebody, and it does cause some difficulties. And I'm not going to get into that. I'm here for the racing. I'm here for the racing. I don't want to get all negative. Life is too short, my friend, as I'm finding. One of the things that the last few weeks have taught me is life is far too short. You've got one life. It's very short. Live it as best you can. That is my advice. Till 3 weeks ago, I felt like I was 30 and I could do anything, and I was going to live forever. And then something happened, and suddenly I'm thinking, whoa, no, I'm banging on the door of 60, and I need to be a little bit more careful and enjoy life. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm enjoying myself, and I'm really enjoying watching these guys racing. It's fantastic to watch so many people throughout the field just running together and working together and having their own little individual battles. Absolutely loving it. So we are into the qualifier at the moment. We're 3.5 minutes into this one. Again, just a short 5-minute qualifier. It really is Max Verstappen style qualifying this, where people will come out, they'll do their out lap, and then they will have one flying lap. Most of these are just getting one flying lap to make it work. And whether they will get a second flying lap on this one, I am not sure. There's only a 120-second overrun, a 2-minute overrun. So there might be a possibility to get a second flyer. But I love it when you get the pressure of having to get your best lap in that you can. Hugh is just saying, on a Scotsman's budget, a party is food from farm foods. And Hugh is still happy after the rugby on Saturday. What happened in the rugby on Saturday? I haven't had a chance to follow it. I guess it was a good match. My one moment of the year. Who was playing? I do like rugby. Scotland beat England. Oh. Great. I wish I hadn't asked now. Although, let me just rewind a little bit. Is there any real achievement in beating England at the moment, unless it's the English ladies team? Oh, that's a very political statement I've just put out there. I think I may well have to smack myself with a warning. And I might have just lit up the the chat now. Oh, Hugh, definitely. I knew you'd be happy for me, Mitchell. Oh, I'm happy for all the Scottish guys out there. You need something to cheer about. You certainly can't cheer about the weather right now. Although you have got some of the best scenery in the UK. Right, so Gamer down with a 1:59.110 and out front at the moment. Fastest lap. He's 0.854 ahead of Stiggy. So Stiggy from the Outlaws right up there at the moment. Wheels is in the hunt too. So 1:59.1 from Dan, a 1:59.9 from Stiggy, a 1:59.9 from Wheels. Ollie with a 2 minutes 0.007. Unfortunately, Ollie, you're in the wrong car, mate. We're not in the Aston Martins tonight, my friend. We're not in the Aston Martins. You can't pretend you're James Bond. I don't think has Bond ever driven a Ferrari? Has Ferrari ever featured in a Bond movie? I'm not sure. We've had Jaguar. We've had Aston Martin, obviously. Everybody knows the Aston Martins for James Bond. And the Lotus. We had the Lotus as well, didn't we? The Lotus Elan. Was it Lotus Elan, I think? Any Ferraris in James Bond? Don't know. But there he is. Look at it. He's there. A 2 minutes dot 007. Gamer Dan's up front. Stiggy second. Wills and Ollie are third and fourth. Leading Alki and Danny. Then number one Pops and Sim Racing. Let's lose the silly voices. Drat Fury and Jonesy in 9th and 10th. Jacoby and Greg White at the rear. Jonesy, Jacoby and Greg White not setting lap times there. So we will get this one underway at 21:55, or on my clock it's 21:55. On yours, it could be anything .55 because it depends where you are. Although most people are in the UK for this one, or at least they are sporting UK flags. Jonesy saying a 5-year-old can drift their little tights car better than you. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, that's a bit near the mark. That's a bit near the mark. Ollie says, an F355 in GoldenEye, says Sim Racing. Oh, really? I'll have to check that one out. See, there you go. See, never believe anything a lobby host says, a streamer says. I'm not sure if James Bond himself has driven one, but there could be a Ferrari in the films, says Ollie. Well, as Sim Racing's just said, yeah, there was one. You said, you've got a great community lobby here. I would join as soon as possible. You, that would be fantastic. We would look forward to that. We'll look forward to that. We always do the, no, it's not a freebie, but we always do the taster one. Come down, have a taster on us. Or better still, smack that register button. Get registered for PSR and you can come racing with us whenever you want. Woo, woo, woo. Ollie saying, was Dan? Was it Wish Dan? Wish it was Dan. We got a wishy-washy whiz Ollie here. He doesn't quite know what he's doing. I think he's a wishy-washy. He probably thinks that he's what's it on the pantomime, and it's Dame whatever, Dame wishy-washy from is it Cinderella? I can't remember. Oh, I don't know. I want to get into the racing. Come on, stop sending me down these tangents, Ollie. You're sending my brain into a frazzle. Hugh says, my family all asleep next door to my box room, so I can't race after 9 p.m. It's very frustrating. We'll be in your garage soon, my friend. You'll have that lovely insulated guy den, man den, boy den, whatever. Man shed, that's the word I'm looking for, except it's not a shed, it's a garage. So it's not a man shed, it's a man. He's got a proper man den, as Hugh Hattrick. None of this mamby-pamby man sheds. He's gonna have a full-on man den. He's gonna have his rig set up with all his wheel and everything, TV, massive TV on the wall. He'll have a little bar at the side with a little drinks cabinet, beer on ice. Oh, he'll be well away. He'll be well away. Do you know what? We'll all be round Hugh Hattrick's for a race night one night. You watch. Mark my words. Party round Hugh's. That's what I think. That's what I reckon. You heard it here first, my friends. You heard it here first. Whoa, out front it is Gamer Dan. He's leading the way again. Come on, Ollie. Come on, Ollie. You can't let Gamer Dan have it all his own way tonight. So Gamer Dan, 0.9 out front. Ollie has got Stiggy all over his back bumper. He's stuck to him like glue. In fact, he's stuck to him like a bee around a honeypot. And I tell you what, the livery that Stiggy is supporting tonight, he could be a bee. Look at that. Yellow and black. It's a lovely livery. He's buzzing all over the back of Ollie. Buzz, buzz, buzz. He's going to sting him and sting him hard in a minute. Unless Wheels Racing can have everything to do with it, because Wheels is going well. He's just half a second behind as well. Whoa, look at those cars going over the top of there. That beautiful shots. Ollie and Wheels, you can just see the car undulating. It's getting right up on the springs. Then it drops down and settles. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shots. We could just see the Gamer Dan and Ollie just running away through these corners, and Stiggy's saying, I'm not having any of this. I'm going to catch up with you. I am the sting in your tails. And he's going to come and sting you bad. Given half the chance. Go on, Stiggy. Go on, my son. Go for it. Buzzy, buzzy, buzzy. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Gamer Dan, 0.6 ahead of Ollie. 0.8 ahead of Stiggy. Who's 0.6 ahead of Wheels. Yeah, there's nothing between these guys. Nothing between the top four. All running together. Beautifully. Number one pops just off the back a little bit. 1.5 seconds back. And then we got Jack Kobe, 0.9. He's coming through from the back of the field. He's got Gr.x on his back bumper as well. I think those two have been coming through the pack as carefully as they can. Wheels making that too easy for Jack Kobe and Gr.x. I was hoping that Wheels was going to hold them up there. But or did he let them through to see if he can follow and use them to catch up with the leaders? And tell you what, Jonesy is right on the back of this little group too. So wow, look at that, 5 cars all together. Number one pops out front, just trying to keep Jack Kobe behind, and Gr.x is trying to hang on to Kobe's rear bumper. How's Stiggy doing? Is he caught up to Sting, the two out front? Oh, he's 1.7 at the moment. It looks like he's loaded up with honey. Stiggy, the honey's making your Your sticky wheels all sticky. You got sticky wheels. Sticky wheels. That's what it is. Sticky. Oh my, what am I on tonight? Gamer down, 0.5 out front with Ollie chasing hard. Ollie not leaving anything to chance through that little corner there. Oh, beautiful line through there. Lovely exit. The back of that Ferrari just twitching around as he's running it on the absolutely ragged edge. 0.4 behind Gamer Dan. He could be close now. He's running purples. Purple times for Ollie. Gamer Dan doesn't want to know that. Gamer Dan is only 0.6 ahead, 0.5 ahead. He's now about to drop into the 0.4s. He does get into the 0.4s, does Ollie. Closing. He's got a lovely slipstream. These two have gapped Stiggy, who is now 2.7 behind at the moment. Can Ollie get a move done at the end of the long straight? No, he can't. He's going to need to tuck in behind. But these two can just work together. And then it will be down to whoever can finish on the podium. Stiggy's 3 seconds back at the moment, and he's got Kobe 2.7 chasing, but Stiggy's not leaving anything on the table either. He's setting blue sectors at the moment, a 159.9. Ollie with a 158.5, and Gamer Dan also with the fastest lap of 158.543. So not a lot between Dan and Ollie at the moment. These two really locked together as we come through the final all-important left down the right-hander to get the power down onto the long straight. Is there anything that Ollie can do to get that power down more quickly and be able to close up more on Gamer Dan? He's got the slipstream. He is slightly quicker by a couple of tenths. That's coming down. It's going to be very close as they go into the final, into the first corner, but I don't think Ollie's going to be able to do anything. He's not close enough at the moment. Dan's done enough. Those cars just getting air as they go over the top of that curb. All under control. No drama whatsoever from these two. Stiggy is hunting them down. He's 3.5 seconds back at the moment, so the top two really running away. Kobe has got himself up into fourth. He is 6 seconds off the leaders at the moment, and Greg with a half-second penalty behind, trying to stay with Kobe, and for those two to pull themselves onto the front of the or to get themselves into the podium positions. Stiggy won't be wanting to do that. I think he'll be chucking honey down on the racetrack, making a bit slippery and sticky for Kobe and White. Whether that will make any difference, we don't know. Number one pops 1.8 behind Greg White, and Jonesy just 1.3 back. Wheels Racing in 8th at the moment. Sim Racing in 9th. Hulky 10th. Danny 84 11th, and Drap Fury back there in 12th at the moment, racing with Danny C. Very close between these two, just 0.8. I think Drap Fury's pushing Danny along, trying to get back into the catch up with the guys up front. Nice line through there. Drap Fury right on the back of Danny 84 at the moment. Oh, we've got a yellow flag up. Oh, Drap Fury gets it a little bit sideways there. Smoke flying out the back of the car. We're not supposed to be drifting in this one, and drifting makes you slow. Hulky in 10th now. 20 seconds off the lead. Sim Racing 9th. Wheels in 8th. Wheels chasing down Greg White is just 0.6 behind. And Greg White has dropped back a little bit, actually. He's no longer on the back bumper of... Whoa. On the back bumper of Jack Kobe. Greg White getting all full wheels. They were still on the track, but the chassis rising over that little crest of that curb there. Looking really nice. So where have we got? We've got Stiggy is just 0.3 ahead of Jack Kobe now. So Jack Kobe has dropped Greg White. And Stiggy, well, is he going to throw a sting in the tail for Jack Kobe? We're on lap 5 of 6. These guys are 4 seconds behind Gamer Dan and Ollie. Stiggy just letting Jack Kobe through, I think, there with the slipstream. He's staying respectfully out to the right-hand side. And this could be interesting. What he can do now is work with Jacobi and see if they can pull themselves up closer to the two up front. The two up front are still locked in battle, just half a second behind Ollie and Gamer Dan. Dan is still wrestling with his ear problem at the moment, and I can imagine that he is on tenterhooks right now, with Ollie breathing down his neck. The gap is not changing though. The gap is pretty even. Both of these guys absolutely on it. You've got Gamer down with a 158.5, 158.5, 158.5. That is consistency for you. Absolutely amazing. A 2:31.6 for that last lap. That is incorrect. Do not believe that timing chart. Gran Turismo is constantly throwing out wrong times. Ollie with a 158.5, 158.1, 158.4 and a 158.6. So Ollie going well. And Dan, there we go, it has reset, a 158.3. So Gamer down within 0.2 of a second. Yeah, just under 0.2 of a second for lap 2, 3, 4 and 5. That is absolutely incredible. I wonder if he can do another 158. Insane. 0.3 of a second between Ollie and Gamer Dan now. We're just riding on board with these two as we get into the closing stages, but there are battles raging all the way through this. And just a little bit further back, you've got Kobe and Stiggy, but then you've got number one Pops and Jonesy. Gr.x just making a move on Jonesy here to get a move up the inside. So Gr.x with number one Pops just in front, Jonesy right in his back bumper, and Wills is there. So we got a little 4-car battle going on at the moment. But just up front, it is Ollie and Dan that are getting into the final few corners. We got the right-hander, 0.3 of a second. Jack Kobe's 4 seconds off the back of these. There is no way that Kobe is going to catch these two. They've really been on it all the way through this race, these two. Masterful run from Gamer Dan and Ollie. Dan 0.6 ahead at the moment. Ollie just dropping a couple of tenths of a second there. Or was Ollie into the wall there? Possibly. I think he may well have done. Gamer Dan is going to come across to take it by 1 second on the line. Ollie 3 seconds ahead of a fast charging Jack Kobe. Stiggy with a 5/4, and then we got, look at this, number one Pops, Gr.x and Jonesy all together. Oh, Wills right on the back bumper of Jonesy. Nothing splitting those, 0.062. Wow, that was close. I think that Wills thought he might have had a little nibble at the back bumper there and managed to sneak ahead. Alas, it didn't quite happen. And Sim Racing coming across in 10th. Hulky in 10th at the moment. Ooh, going a bit slow out that corner. I don't know if he just got into the barrier there a little bit. Danny 84 right tucked up behind. Oh, Danny just getting Hulky on the line, so don't know whether there was something going on there. And Drak Fury we're just riding on board with at the moment. He's a little bit further back. Wow, 38 seconds off the back of the pack. Not quite sure how Drak Fury is so far behind. Drak is not that slow, so I think that Drak must have had an incident somewhere along the way. Oh, he's into the wall again there, into the barrier. Very, very unusual for Drak Fury to be that far off the pace. But oh, Drak, we're not supposed. That's against the rules, my friend. Where are you, Bismarck? Good evening. I know there was nobody behind, but oh, I always get a bit nervous when I see that. We don't do the spinning on the line because it does throw yellow flags. And if there is anybody behind you, it can absolutely destroy their races if you've got two people trying for an overtake. I know Drak was running last there, so it wasn't going to impact anybody, but I have seen people doing it and forgetting. They think they're last and they forget that there are two people racing behind. And well, yeah. My Discord lights up big time when somebody's lost out because of a yellow flag. Greg White was saying, I tried then, Jack. Looking really, really tight up front. Let's have a look at this. Gamer Dan was your winner by 1 second on the line with a 158.375. Ollie in second with a 158.184. Jack Kobe did manage to get third with a 157.562. The only one in the 157s. That's a great lap. But he was 4 seconds behind. But coming from the back, remember. Stiggy with a fine fourth. With another of the Outlaws in fifth. Number 1 Pops. Greg White again coming from the back. He was trying to stick with Jack Kobe, but something happened and unfortunately fell back to 6th. Jonesy and Wills with a real ding-dong battle. I thought the Wills was going to get Jonesy on the line, but he didn't. Less than a 1/10 of a second between those two. Sim Racing in 9th. Danny in 10th. Hulky 11th. And Drat Fury way back there in 12th. Top 3, Gamer Dan, Ollie and Jack Kobe. Is anybody going to unseat Gamer Dan this evening? Well, we've only got a couple of more races lined up. We're going to see how we go. We are off to a couple of new tracks now. We've got the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve for this first one. So let's get this one loaded up. I think that we're probably only going to get 2 races in because I'm trying to run qualifiers in this one tonight because the nature of the cars and the racing. And Ollie's saying Gamer Dan is on fire tonight. He certainly is. He certainly is. Dan, I don't want to steal you. I don't want to push you away, but please, please, please don't overdo it with your rear. Please don't overdo it. It's difficult when you're out front and enjoying the racing so much. Believe me, I know. I've been there. I did it with I came back too soon and I'm paying the price now, but I am staying away. So tonight we're doing this in the Ferrari tonight. I am almost definitely going to be loading up the BMW M2 tomorrow because I'm desperate to see the M2s. I just hope nobody puts a pink livery or a SpongeBob SquarePants or a Barbie livery on my M2s that I adore. If that happens, I think I may well have to start kicking people. So no pink, no SpongeBob, no Barbie tomorrow. Come on, let's have some proper liveries tomorrow, guys, on the M2s. And then I don't know what I'm going to be doing on the Wednesday. Not quite sure. But on Thursday, if things come off, then we'll have an interesting one on Thursday. Oh, Stiggy with a 3-second penalty. That looks like a pit lane infringement. We are. What did I say we were? What did I say we were going to do? Did I say when we were going to go? This is the problem. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Have I? I want to go into. I want to go. How do? What chat? So the qualifier for this one's going to be 1/4 past. Right, where are we? Spectate is what I'm looking for. Sorry guys, I'm all over the place. Oh, Ollie with a 1.5 second. It's only practice, so doesn't matter too much. But some of the guys really enjoy this track, some of them don't. It's one of the new ones, and it seems to be a little bit of a Marmite track. Some people love it, some people hate it. There is also an Easter egg. Do you know about the Easter egg on this one? When you get to the little twisty section, I can't remember which one it is. It's not this one, not this corner. It's one of the corners you carry on around to the right, and behind the barrier is a groundhog. There's a little groundhog that's caught behind the barrier. Is it through this one? No. Yeah, no, yes, no, it's not that one. It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom of the racetrack. So Jack's going to come down here. He's going to go through the chicane, and then it's where some of the guys at the bottom are. I think where it is. Number one Pops, what track is this? Never done this track. It's the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, one of the new ones. Dan says, PlayStation Racer, where'd it go, man? You have unseated me by choosing this track. Really? Oh, I didn't choose this track. Yeah, it's here. So you come around here, you come around here, you come around here, and then you go right, and then you carry on right, and it's just in there. It's in that little bit there. There's a groundhog. Jack Kobe with the 141.372 and the fastest lap. Looks like Jackie's going to go for it in this one. Gamer Dan's doing okay though. He's 1.4 behind, a 142.8. But we'll see how things pan out in this one. Number one Pop says it's not here. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to have to have a look myself at some point. I'll have to have a look myself. It was on one of Roy Alexander's shorts, I think, where he exposed it. What they refer to as Easter eggs in Gran Turismo. There's all sorts of things on most of the tracks. The developers normally put something in. I think there's a flying saucer in one of them, and there's one at Grand Valley as well, I think. But yeah, all good fun. The developers having a laugh, having a bit of fun. And obviously around Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, they do get groundhogs running across this track in the Formula 1. I think, was it Lewis Hamilton that famously called one out? Was it Mika Hakkinen or Kimi Räikkönen or, oh, I don't know. Any one of the above. Oh, Gamer down with a half-second penalties. He bounced across the curbs there. Right. I said I need to start the qualifying. Oh man, alive! I really need to stop doing this. I am rubbish. No, I don't want to. What? The qualifying begins shortly. Let's just wait. Track Fury says the large rat. It's called a groundhog. Track Fury is not there in practice. Gamer Dan has got the monkey in his gallery at Deep Forest. There's a kangaroo at Bathurst. Ollie was checking everywhere. Our number one Pop had a look, but he couldn't see it. There's also the Loch Ness at Deep Forest. All sorts coming out. All sorts. The UFO is Grand Valley. I thought it might have been Grand Valley. Oh, Drat Fury pulling off. What's Drat doing? Oh, he's going to have a look. It's not there. It ain't not there. It's right in front of where Drat Fury is, but it ain't not there. We can't see it there. So it looks like it might only be in the race, which means you've got to bin your race. Oh, let's go on board with Stiggy. We'll put some replay information on and just have a little look. I'm more interested in the racing than Easter eggs. Jack Kobe says, where is it? Tell me, I'll go and have a look. Well, Jack Furious just had a look. It's not there. Sometimes it's time dependent, like Loch Ness. Ooh. You'll probably find it's only the leader of the race, and he's got to lose his race to go and see it. Wouldn't that be funny? Only it's the leader that could see it. Warrior says it's like Bigfoot. Yeah, it doesn't really exist. I'll tell you what, who's on it? Stiggy's on it. Stiggy wants a win, I think, tonight. I think Stiggy's capable of getting a win, you know. He's quick. Let's see what he can do around here. He's got Wheels Racing right behind him. Oh, Stiggy. Oh, I thought he was in the barrier there. Oh, that was a brown trouser moment and a half, that was. Stiggy's got a very squeaky bottom. He has ditched the yellow and black car. He's gone back to the red and white one. Or two cars there very tight together through the chicane. Don't know who that was. We are in the qualifying now. They shouldn't be racing. Jack Kobe and Will. Was that Jack Kobe and Wills? No. Oh no, it's Danny. I don't know who it was actually. I lie. I'm not going to say. I'm not sure. Or two cars just going off there and in the final at the hairpin, the top hairpin. We are in the qualifier, so they may well be just aborting their laps, maybe. Possibly aborting their laps so that they start at the back of the field. Some of the quick racers do like to do that. Or Stiggy all over the curb there. Just keeping out of the wall. I think that's the World of Champions, that one, isn't it? We come down to this little technical section where hard on the brakes. Get it turned in, use the inside of the curb. Actually, they're not using too much of the inside of that one. Into the left-hander and then the right-hander. And then you want to get on the power. And you've got to run down into the... around this long corner and you've got the chicane. Whoa, Wheels Racing getting that badly wrong there. We heard the squeal as he went sideways into the wall. I think he's just written his Ferrari off. Back to the pits for a new one. That one's not going to be going anywhere. Went into there like a real old battering ram. Unfortunately, I think the wall won. Drat Fury, number one Pops and Sim Racing going together. Number one just letting Sim Racing through. So whether number one Pops is just aborting that one to do another one, I'm not quite sure. Let's put some race information on and we'll see where we are at. So it's Ollie with the fastest lap of 141.7. Okay, looks like Gamer Dan could potentially be unseated here. Wheels is a 142.3. Greg White with a 142.4 and Dan down in fourth with a 142.8. So at the moment he's over a second, just over a second off the pace at the moment. Danny 84, he's a couple of seconds off at the moment, and Stiggy 2.5. Number one Pops 2.7. Sim Racing 2.8. Hulky needs to put a good one in. Yeah, that's Hulky can go quicker than that. Jack Kobe, Drat Fury and Jonesy not setting times at the moment. But it is Ollie out front with a 141.7. He is going to want to take a win away from Gamer Dan, but he has got Wheels and Greg chasing him. Jack Kobe just parked up. He didn't want to go across the line. So he's just parked up there for the moment. Hopefully that's not throwing yellow flags and causing any issues as he quits out to the pits. It's absolutely fine for those people that want to start at the back of the grid. So Ollie with a 141.790 as we see the checkered flag flying. So Ollie out front still, Wheels Racing in second, half a second behind, and the hazard lights are flying, so he's not going to improve. Greg White is 0.6 back again, hazard lights on, so he's not improving. Gamer Dan's not improving, 1.074. Stiggy neither, 1.1, and then Hulky is 1.8 back. Danny's going to be starting in 7th, Sim Racing in 8th, ahead of number one Pops and Drat Fury in 10th, and Jonesy and Jack Kobe 11th and 12th for that one. And we got Jack Kobe in the pits at the moment, so we'll just need to wait for the clock to tick down to 7 minutes and then we'll be going racing. So about 10 seconds and we will be able to get this one underway. Loving this single mate racing. It's really great as well, the fact these guys are in the same car at all these different tracks, and we're seeing the different abilities, how they are performing at different tracks. Yas Marina will be the next one. So we're running the 2 new tracks in this one. I'm going to get this one underway at 25. So 22:25 UK time we'll get going. But yeah, we're going to be off to Yas Marina in the next one. So we had Spa and Trial Mountain, 2 very, very favourite tracks that a lot of people like. And then we've gone for 2 Marmite tracks. So the new ones, some people like them, some people don't. And as we heard, some people are trying them for the first time tonight. So good choice of tracks from Wheels Racing this evening. This one is down to Wheels. He chose a car on the tracks. Tomorrow I will be using AI to pick the best tracks for the BMW M2. Then we'll be looking for a car on Wednesday. And then Thursday we could be doing something very special. And then Friday I will not be racing. Afraid I will not be racing or hosting or anything on Friday night. So if any of you want to do a Friday night special, feel free. I don't know if Gr.x wants to host a games night. We haven't done one of those in a while. And I will be disappointed to miss it. But games nights are difficult to commentate on. So that would be ideal. Just thinking out loud. I'm not trying to push him into doing it. But could be an ideal opportunity on Friday. As I said, I will not be racing. I will not be streaming. I won't be hosting. I will be nowhere near my PS5. But at the moment, it's Ollie out front from Gr.x. Ollie's been second, I think, all the way through so far. Second to Gamer Dan. This is his opportunity to shine. But he's got a very fast charging Gr.x behind him. Ollie is going to need to nail every single one of these corners. It's actually quite close. This one. More Wheels Racing getting heavily into the wall there. He's picked up a half-second penalty as he grazes the wall as well. So that is going to drop Wheels back a little bit. Unless the... Whoa! Almost into the back of Gr.x there. Wheels going a little bit deep. He's now having to recover behind Gamer Dan. He's trying to make a run up the inside. He's got a good run. He's also going to get that penalty. He pulls over to the side to take that penalty. Very respectful. That's going to drop him down a little bit. He was in 4th. Oh, actually, he's lucky. He's going to tuck in behind Gamer Dan. It's only cost him 1 place. And he went deep into the corner. Oh, a lot of damage on the back of that Ferrari. So poor Wheels looking like he's in the walls a bit. He's right on the back of Gamer Dan. Pushing hard as we go into the left-hander. He's got the inside. Gamer Dan's going to have to go defensive. Oh, they're side by side. Wheels trying the undercut. He's going to try and get onto the power quicker. I think he has got a run on Gamer Dan here. I believe he has, but can he get close enough before the corner? No, he can't. He tucks in behind for the chicane. I thought he was going to get a nose up front. But Wheels sitting quite nicely behind Gamer Dan for the long back straight. Gamer Dan just falling back a little bit from the cars in front, 3 seconds behind. Not often I say this, but Gamer Dan the cork in the bottle at the moment. I'm not quite sure what bottle. I don't know whether it's a bottle of beer, a bottle of wine, or a bottle of champagne. We'll see how much the fizz pops at the end of this one. Oh, Wheels pushing hard, but falling back just a little bit more on Dan. He really didn't want to do that. He needs a really good hairpin, and he's got Stiggy right on his back bumper. Wheels hard on the brakes, getting it turned in. No drama this time. Picking up the apex. As to Stiggy, hard on the acceleration now. Can he close up on Gamer Dan at all? Gamer Dan is 1.5 seconds down the road. And Dan is 2.8 behind Ollie. And Ollie is right on Greg's back bumper. So it is starting to... the field is starting to fan out just a little bit at the moment. Both of our leaders really abusing the curb there. And if you do it too much, you can get a bit of air and you can be into the wall of champions if you're not careful. Ollie, 3.3, fastest lap. Blues being set. Gr.x out front with the fastest lap, a 1:41.0. Ollie with a 1:42.8. So Gr.x going quick, and Ollie now finds himself, unfortunately, in a very familiar second place. Gr.x had an absolutely blinding lap there. So a 1:41.0. Anybody else near a 1:41? Nobody's near a 141. The only... What's Jack Kobe doing? Jack's done a 142.8. Nobody is close to Greg White around here right now. I mean, Ollie is close on his back bumper, but for lap time, absolutely on it is Greg. He's had a barnstorming lap number 2, but he's not got any let up from Ollie behind him. Ollie's really tight. Greg White goes deep. Ollie's going to get an undercut here. Oh, Greg White trying to V the corner and get on the power as soon as he can, but he did go deep and Ollie could not capitalise on that. I wasn't sure whether Ollie was going to follow him deep. He didn't. Greg V'd the corner. Ollie unable to get the power down early enough, but he is right tight up behind Greg now as we go into the chicane. Oh, Greg, huge on the curb there. And as I said, if you use too much of the curb there, it will launch you into the Wall of Champions, as it did there. And that is going to give Ollie almost definitely the place back. Ollie's got the inside into this left and right. Ollie taking all the inside of the curb there. He's not giving Greg any way through there. He's got that nicely covered. Ollie's car really sliding around as he's trying to get the power down. And Greg White's is equally slidey in the dirty air as they go through the chicane. Oh, tell you what, Greg is chancing track limits, and Ollie on the almost into the wall there as well. Oh, Ollie's, and that neither of these two are leaving anything on the table. They're going to be side by side through here. Ollie should get the benefit on the exit, but Greg showing Ollie, I'm here, I'm right up the inside of you, I can get alongside. All I need is the right combination of corners and you're going to be mine. But Ollie is going to go into this chicane ahead. Oh, Ollie's off the track. Oh, big off the track. Greg White keeping it nice and clean and tidy. Ollie giving the place back. Respectful. That is respect. I don't know whether Ollie is going to get a track limit warning, but he did maintain the place by going off the track, and he's given that back. Massive, massive respect to young Ollie there. We do love to see that. Deep respect. Ollie now needs to do it all again. He's right on the back bumper of Greg. We're on lap 4 of 6. This one is going to go to the wire, I think. Ollie, oh, he's looking left, he's looking right. Can't quite get through there. How on earth are these guys going through these corners together so close? Oh, neither of them into the wall there. Greg with a huge amount of turf being thrown up there. Ollie with a half-second penalty. Ollie's got the inside for this one, but he's going to be on the outside for the next unless he can get the undercut. He's sending Greg very, very tight on that one. Ollie's going to get a very nice exit. They're going to be side by side, but Ollie has got the half-second penalty. Ollie needs to get this. Ollie needs to get in front, but Greg White has got the inside for the chicane. They're going side by side. They're going... Oh, Greg White smacks the barrier. Ollie, I think, might have got another half-second there as though we're going side by side through there. So Ollie does come out of that in front, and he looks like he might have got away with that, actually. I think he did get away with it. I think they went through there quite slowly, and he may well have got away with that. Greg is absolutely leaving paint all over the barriers at the moment. I'm wondering if he thinks he's a graffiti artist here. I think he's drawing pictures on the walls with the back end of his car as he's saying hello to all of the walls and the barriers. He doesn't on that one. He keeps it nice and tidy, but Ollie half a second out front, but he's going to lose that in a moment. So he's going to lose the lead, and then Greg's going to come through, and Ollie's going to have to jump on the back of Greg for the far last lap and just see if he can stay on his rear bumper. And it's going to be a barnstorming end. Gamer Dan 2.2 back. He's 1.4 ahead of Kobe, who is pushing. Kobe wants that podium. Can he take that away from Dan? Or can Dan get a podium around this track that he doesn't like very much? Stiggy running in 5th ahead of Wheels. We haven't seen much of these guys in the midfield, but Stiggy and Wheels having a lovely little battle together. Wheels just 0.8 behind as Stiggy gets it into the wall. Wheels keeping it lovely out of there. He's going to close up a little bit onto the back of Stiggy. Whether he can do anything through the tight complex. Can he get up the inside here? No, he can't. He's going to need to settle in behind. Wheels using all of the curb. Stiggy parking it on the apex there. Wheels, you could see the front of that Ferrari, the nose diving when he really didn't want to. He used all of the curb, but he couldn't make the benefit of it. Stiggy running a really defensive line here. Oh, Stiggy with a big old slide there. Wills would have seen that. Wills is going to have a lovely run down into here. Can he make anything of that? No, he can't. Stiggy just managing to stay out front at the moment. Wills pushing the track limits, trying to find a way through on Stiggy. A little bit further back, we've got Hulky and Jonesy with Drat Fury right in his back bumper. And we've also got Sim Racing involved with this one as well. So this is a lovely little 4-car battle here. Drat Fury with a half-second penalty. Sim Racing going through. So Sim Racing's now going to try and chase down Jonesy. Sim Racing, I hope you got your sunglasses on, mate, because you're going to need them. Wow, Jonesy, millimetre perfect on that corner. How on earth he didn't fold his mirror in on that one, I do not know. He was so close to the barrier. Beautiful line through there. Sim Racing going a little bit deep on that one. Drat Fury with the half-second penalty, though. Danny 84 and number 1 Pops at the rear at the moment. Number 1 Pops a little bit wayward on this one. This has not been a good track for him. Danny with a half-second penalty as well. We're on the final lap. Let's just... Oh, we didn't quite catch the leaders. Oh, that was awfully close on the line. Oh, I really should have jumped back. I was a little bit late getting back onto the leaders there. That was stonkingly close at the finish there. That could well be one to watch back. Ollie, Greg and Dan and Jack Kobe are all going to be screaming at me that I wasn't watching them. Oh, my word. Tess, good evening. Hey, Mitch. Have you got a link to Discord? Link in the description comes up invalid. But there is. Let me grab you one very, very quickly. Let me grab you one very, very quickly. Invite to server. Ooh, let me just grab this if I can. What? Copy. Unfortunately, every time I put it into the Discord, into the Stream Elements, it dies. And I'm sort of losing the will to live on it at the moment. I've now completely messed up my screen. Right, come on, back down you come. Okay, so there we go. Right, where are we? I'm going to save that replay. I tell you what, up front, it looked like a cracker at the end. Unfortunately, it's very difficult when you're doing live commentaries. It's very difficult to know where to look. And I was enjoying that little run at the back there. But it looked like a phenomenal end at the back there. Sim Racing just saying, good race, Drac and Jonesy. And Ollie went off the track and gained again. Oh, Ollie, what are you doing? So Sim Racing just saying, good race, Jack and Jonesy there. That's lovely to hear. And it was lovely to see Ollie giving the place to Greg there as well. Keeping the place by going off, but then giving it back. Really respectful, loving that. But look at this up front. It was Ollie out front with a 141.564. Greg White with a 1 second penalty, 141.036. So that was 0.066 on the line, as tight as you like. And Gamer Dan there, 1.308. So he was only like 0.2 of a second, 0.25 behind with a 141.693. And Jack Kobe was in there as well with a 1.396. So again, less than a tenth of a second. So crazy at the front there. So very, very close for third. And Jack Kobe getting the fastest lap of 141.59. Stiggy in fifth, Wheels Racing sixth, Hulky seventh, and Jonesy eighth, with Sim Racing and Drat Fury, all three of those having an absolute blinding race as well. Sim Racing getting ninth, Drat Fury getting 10th. Danny 84th, 11th, and number 1 Pops with a bit of a mare in that one, back in 12th. Your top three, Ollie does get his race win just ahead of Greg White, and then Gamer Dan in third. So although Dan thought he was going to be decrowned, he was, but he did still keep on the podium. Jack Kobe dropping to the back and not quite able to get onto the podium in that one. However, that is all about to change, because we are heading off to Yas Marina, and there is a certain young man who is blindingly fast around here. and that is Mr. Kobe. What he'll be like in this particular race, of course, in this car, I don't know. So nothing is for sure. But Jack Kobe is very, very quick around this Yas Marina circuit. Can the other guy stay with him? And we will see. Ness Sim Racing saying, thanks, Mitchell. Thanks, everyone, for the great racing. Good night, all. Good night, my friend. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you very much. Oh, the Dickie B, new sub. Glad I found your channel. And Track Fury is saying, Borky, we know it's you. Game it down. It's even worse for this one. Oh, come on, Dan. Let's go for a penalty. Let's go for another podium. Come on, you haven't been off the podium. Jonesy said, yep, worst track for a pants car. Don't blame me. It's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. Yes, it should be. Should be midnight. Let's just change that. Thanks, Drac. Thanks, Jack Kobe. Change that to midnight. I think he wants his nighttime treat. It's awfully warm in here. All right, let him out. I will do. I will do. I will do. I will do. Right, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? It's not my randomizer. It's Stiggy's going to watch this one. Stiggy is done in this one. Right, where are we gonna start? We'll go for the qualifier at we go at 45 because there's a few people I think that will just want to get to grips with this track. Mr. Kobe won't. He'll be on it. Greg White warming his tyres up behind. All of the, well, I say all of the cars, it's just the one car tonight, but the car on all the tracks chosen by William tonight, Wheels Racing. And I'm going to be using the BMW M2 tomorrow. Everybody will be in that car. And we will be using the AI to pick the tracks for that one. And then Wednesday is open. And Thursday I'm working on something that might or might come off. We'll see. And we'll see how that one goes. It looks like we might be losing. Was that number one that we might be losing there? Hoda, what are you doing? Can't see the chat for the moment. It's gone. I think we might be losing a few people for this one. Our time is getting on. It is coming up for 11:15. So time is getting on. This will be the last one, guys. Unfortunately. And let's just have a look and see who we've got. Outlaw number one Pops just saying, thanks for the clean race. That was fun. Let's play again. Sometimes he's gone. So good night, number one. Thank you for popping in. So Stiggy's going to be watching. We're only going to have 8 runners in this one. Jack Kobe, Greg White, Gamer Dan, Ollie, Wheels, Drac Fury, Hulky and Jonesy. We got a lot of pink cars. Dare I ban the pink cars tomorrow? Dare I ban pink cars tomorrow? I don't know. We shall see. Knowing my luck, they'll all be in pink cars tomorrow. Dad's is super bright pink. So, just over a minute to run. And then we'll have Jack Kobe, Greg White, Gamer Dan, Ollie, Wheels Racing, Drac Fury, Hulky and Jonesy. I have left the qualifier on. It will take me just slightly over the 11 o'clock. But unfortunately, I am going to need to call it night at 11 because my head is pounding at the moment. But I'm saying that I am thoroughly enjoying the racing. There you go. The missus are already whinging at me. She says, don't I dare moan tomorrow because she won't be interested. She'll give me what for. She'll give me what for. So, yeah, no, I'm just doing this last one and then we will be calling it a night, guys. Right. Where are we? I'm so in trouble today. Right. Let's get this one underway in a moment. Oh, Rick Gr.x, thank you for subscribing. Also, Morton Nesby earlier on today, and Nuno Machado and Mike Gr.x all subscribed today. So 4 new subscribers. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. I really appreciate it. With that, though, we're going to be going qualifying right now. So Stiggy's watching, I'm watching. We got Jack Kobe, Greg White, Gamer Dan, Ollie, Wills, Drac, Hulky and Jonesy are going to be taken to the track. And we're finishing this one up with a midnight race around this glorious Yas Marina circuit. One of the 2 new circuits in the game. And it is, as far as I'm concerned, a really welcome addition to Gran Turismo 7. Again, I think it's another one of those Marmite tracks. Some people love it, some people hate it. I thoroughly enjoyed the Porsche daily race around here. Unfortunately, my health got in the way and I was unable to finish that week. Only did a couple of days and then it just got too much. So I'm hoping to get back into that one very soon. Or we've got people at the back already with penalties. Let's put some repay options on and just see where we are with that. So well, Jonesy's just restarting. Drac Fury's a little bit off the back. Ollie's okay, but we've got Greg White and Hulky both with 3 second penalties. So that is almost definitely going to be pit exit infringements. It's a long track around here as well. So I don't know what the lap time is. Hopefully, they're decelerating now, so they're going to be losing those penalties very soon. So we've got Wills Racing out front at the moment. Oh, with the hazard lights on for some reason. I think he's letting Kobe and Dan through. Looks like he wants to follow those guys rather than lead. I can fully understand that. I would almost definitely have been in the same boat there. I'd much rather be chasing Jack Kobe and Gamer Dan than having them behind me. Wills with a bit of a slide there. Jack Kobe and Gamer Dan pretty much locked together as they're going to come through the last little few corners. We go underneath the hotel, the iconic roof that makes Yas Marina so recognizable. Whoever designed that needs an absolute award. Really nice. So we are going to start. It is going to be Jack Kobe. It's going to start us on the first flying lap with Gamer Dan in second and Wills in third. So we've got 2.5 minutes to run. Oh, Gamer Dan getting it super sideways there. Got that completely wrong out of that corner. That will have cost him a lot of time there. Oh, he's risking track limits there as well. I'm not sure you can put all 4 wheels there. We are not running the competition track limits. I tell you now, if we were running competition track limits like they did in the daily race, he would be on a half-second penalty. He got away with that there. So Jack Kobe will be enjoying this because we're back to the normal track limits in which you can really make the most of this track. And Jack Kobe is awesome around here. The big question will be, will Jack Kobe be running competition track limits or the normal track limits? He did say at the beginning of the week that they'd ruin the race, and then 24 hours later he was saying, actually, I quite like this with these competition track limits. But they were very unforgiving, extremely unforgiving. In particular, when you went across the sausages and this corner here, if you got out onto that curb, you were into a penalty. Cut that one, you were in trouble. Cut this one, if you ran a little bit wide on that, you were in trouble. And then this one as well, the Jack Kobe's, no, it's not this one. The one that where you go onto the start finish. I think this next one, just after this, if you went wide there, you were on a track limit. And if you went wide on the exit of this one, you're on a track limit. Oh, Jack Kobe just backing out of that one. So looks like Dan is going to be setting the chase time, which is a 2:04.0, which has just been munched by Wills with a 2:02.9, but then Greg goes faster with a 2:02.3. So the times changing all the time at the moment. Greg White with purple at the moment, a 2:02.3. Wills Racing with a 2:02.9, and then Ollie with a 2:03.1. Gamer down with a 2:04.0. Drat Fury down with a 2:02.5. And Hulky right on his back bumper. Look, very, very close behind with a 2:05.077. That's 1/100th of a second between Drat Fury and Hulky. Jonesy and Jacoby yet to set times. You can see somebody there with a track limit. I think that's not quite sure who that was. I think that was Wills Racing at the back there, just recovering. I think he might have had a spin out of there. He's got damage on the front bumper and the tyres, and we see he was lighting up the rear tyres just to get that spun round and running again. Jack Fury in the background, sporting the Italian flag on the front of his Ferrari. But Greg going really well with 2:02.3 at the moment. 0.6 of a second out front, just over half a second. Will that change? We will see. You can get some very different lines on this racetrack. A lot of people where Greg White just went through there go quite deep and then swing back, whereas in the daily races I kept that quite tight and can very often get on the back of somebody that I was just off the back of, but it didn't give you an overtaking opportunity because you were slightly slower out of the corner. Obviously the better option is to go a bit deep and then get on the power early and carry that all the way through. Greg White just leaving a little bit more paint on the barrier as he's been doing. I swear he thinks that he's a graffiti artist this week, leaving his mark all over the place. But a 2:01.952 from Ollie to take the lead at the moment. Or Ollie parking it on the apex there, but I think we're on auto drive. So looking pretty favourable for Ollie at the moment, with Greg just 0.4 behind, and then Gamer down 0.445 behind. So it's really tight between Gamer Dan and Greg White, just 3/100ths of a second, and Wheels just 1 second off Ollie at the moment. Drat Fury in 5th, 3 seconds back. Hulky in 6th. So we could see another run of individual races here, but it's going to be Ollie and Greg are going to lead us away on the lead lap, on the front row, not the lead lap, the front row. Gamer Dan and Wills Racing on row number 2, Drat Fury and Hulky row number 3, and Jonesy and Jacoby on row number 4. Those are your runners, all in the same car. The 430 Scuderia 07 is the car of choice tonight. I'll remind you that we will be running in the BMW M2 tomorrow. And what tracks? Well, that will be down to AI to pick those for us. We will see how that goes. Drat Fury saying low frames per second on stream. I've not got any dropped frames or anything. It should be all right. Everything's looking hunky-dory as far as my side is concerned. I've got a nice upload. Got a nice upload time. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if anybody else is having some difficulties, but whoa! Jonesy and Wheels just getting into each other a little bit there as the cone goes flying. Trying to get 3 wide through there is always going to be difficult. And Ollie says, I'll have some of that. And he immediately hits the front and gaps the rest. So Ollie and he's 1.1 ahead of Greg White, who's got Dan right on his back bumper. Nothing between them. And in fact, Gamer Dan is going through on that corner. Greg White is going to have a really nice run down this long straight, and he's going to have the slipstream as well. Is he going to work with Dan to stay with Ollie, or is he going to try and make the move down into the corner at the bottom here? He's right tucked in behind. Is he going to move out, or is he going to hit the brakes? He's going to hit the brakes. Oh, Jonesy's just going a little bit deep there under braking. He has to dive off to the right-hand side so as he didn't take Greg out. That is the way to handle a late braking move. Textbook there from Jonesy. Respect and kudos all in one there. How on earth he managed to throw that off the track rather than running into the back of the car in front, I do not know. So Jonesy just getting caught out possibly on the slipstream into that corner. But Ollie, oh, Jack Kobe pushing Greg White through there. Greg White super sideways through that corner. And Jack Kobe there to pick up the pieces. I don't know whether Jack started from the rear or where he started, but he's absolutely flying. He's pushing Gamer down as well through the hotel complex. I told you this guy was blooming quick around here. Awfully quick. Oh, the times are, the places are switching around a little bit at the moment. Burrow Dan finds himself down in fourth at the moment. Jack Kobe, as I said, that would have been a track limit for Jack Kobe if we'd got the hard penalties on, but it's we've got the normal ones that we run, the normal ones that I run in my lobby, so he's able to push those track limits a little bit. He's absolutely flying. He's 1.9 off of Ollie. I have a funny feeling he's going to eat him up, but Gamer Dan closing up on the back of Greg White in the background there. These two very close together, just 0.3 behind. Big Joe, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope you're well. Thank you for dropping the like. Appreciate that. Whoa, Greg White with a big old slide. Gamer Dan is going to get a nice run on Greg White now down the long straight. Surely, surely, surely. There should be a slipstream pass here. He pulls out. Oh, and he pulls back in. Whoa. What a wild move from Gamer Dan there. He took a look and he thought, no, this is not going to happen. I'm going to tuck straight right in behind. But he's still there. He's still pushing. It's side by side. He's got the move done round the outside. Lovely little round the outside move there. And Greg White picking up a half-second penalty. So Greg should be okay with that half-second. If he can stay with Gamer Dan, when I was getting half-second penalties, so long as you could stay in the slipstream, you could really limit the effect. And it was below a second overall, and then you could close up. So a half-second penalty doesn't destroy your race around here. Anything more than that, and you can be in trouble. So Greg White is just 0.6 behind Gamer Dan at the moment. We'll have a look and see how. Oh, into the wall there. Gamer Dan sideways too. So again, I think that Greg White is he's going to stay there. How brave are they through this corner? So as we're going to see now, I can't remember when the penalty served. I thought it was there, but it isn't. So Greg has got a little bit more time where he needs to stay on the back of Gamer Dan's gearbox. Gamer Dan wants to break the toe. He wants to get away. Greg's saying, sorry mate, but that's not going to happen. I'm still staying half a second behind you. Gamer Dan having a little nibble at the bollard through that corner. That shows how hard they're pushing. We come down into this very, very tight left-hander. It's almost a hairpin, but not quite. Very strange corner, this one, because it's very open. And then you need to get on the power down the long straight. Now, Greg White will get the slipstream this time. Is he going to dive in front of Dan? Dan with a bit of a wiggle. That isn't a weave, that was a wiggle for anybody that's going to complain to me. Rachel, good evening. Good evening, my friend. How are you doing? Greg just having to tuck in behind Dan. Dan going a little bit defensive there. Greg looking to try and get a little bit of a move done. He's trying to get on the power early. So close, just 0.1 of a second between these two. Greg White is absolutely pushing down, but Greg is going to need to serve that penalty now. We'll see. He does actually pull out the slipstream, which surprised me. I thought he was going to stay exactly behind Dan, because Wills is 5 seconds behind. So there's no way Wills was going to catch up. But you'll see there that Greg White did drop to 0.9 of a second behind, and now it's probably going to close up under slipstream. It's already down to 0.7. These guys are four-wheel sliding these cars through these corners to try and stay together. At the moment, Jack Kobe's 0.6 ahead of Ollie. Ollie absolutely staying with Jack Kobe here. But Jacoby has managed to hit the front. Again, Jack using the curbs far more than he would have been able to in the daily race. You could see there on the last corner, all 4 wheels off the track. So interesting, the different driving styles between the daily race with the competition track limits and now when we're just running normal track limits. Jacoby abusing the track much more than Ollie and managing to just pull a gap of 0.7 ahead of Ollie, but Ollie is right there. Jacoby setting at 2 minutes 0.157 purple. Ollie, half-second penalty for Ollie while he's chasing down Jacoby. That is going to enable Jacoby to pull away a little bit. The big battle on track at the moment is for the podium. It's between Gamer Dan and Greg White. Nothing between these guys at the moment. Gamer Dan setting a 202.6 and a 202.9. Greg's setting a 203.3 and a 202.9. Greg White hard on the brakes there. The brake disc glowing. The back end of that car is twitching around as they get on the power. Both of them sliding, but Greg White just trying to get the better line. Can he get around the outside? No, he can't. He tucks in behind. Dan just got it covered off. Greg just slightly, just unable to get the power down quite as much. One wonders whether a touch of traction control 1 might enable him to stop the back end of that Ferrari twitching around a little bit. Gamer down with a big slide into that corner. I don't know whether that was a gear shift slide there, but a big old sideways moment for Gamer down into the corner. Greg unable to penalise him for that. Still, Gamer Dan's car is sliding around all over the place. You can see the tyres complaining on the graphic there. They're getting the red icon around the tyres showing that tyre is overheating as they're sliding it through the corners. We're on lap number 6. Jacoby is now 3 seconds ahead of Ollie. Ollie does not have any answer for Jacoby out front, but Ollie is nearly 6 seconds ahead of Gamer Dan and Greg White. So putting on an absolutely fantastic performance here, Ollie is. 2 other guys are giving a brilliant performance and very entertaining. Is Gamer Dan and Greg White. A little bit further back, we've got Wills, the orchestrator of this one tonight, the architect of these races, the maestro himself in 5th, going well. Hulky in 6th. He's got Drat Fury chasing him down behind. So Wills is 5 seconds down the road to Hulky, and Drat Fury just 1.4 behind, and Jonesy just 2.5 behind. Drat Fury, Jonesy at the rear at the moment, chasing those guys. Jacoby nearly 4 seconds ahead at the moment. Ollie going well. But look at this behind. This is where the real battle is. The battle for the podium. Oh, Dan! Getting it really across those curbs. That would have been a penalty, but does he get away with it? I think he has. Track limits far more lenient in this one tonight. But Greg White right on the back of Gamer Dan. I mean, Greg, I don't think he's seen much of the track. He's been tucked up behind Gamer Dan all the way through. Oh, big slide again. I thought Greg had got that one done. I thought he got up the inside, but again, just under the power, the back end of that Ferrari sliding around. Greg White, back end of that Ferrari dancing around on the brakes there. Beautiful car control. Oh, Gamer Dan with a slide through there. Greg White are really pushing it, these two. Greg really wants to get through, and Gamer Dan is saying, you're not going to get through. I want this podium. I want to keep this podium. Oh, we'll slide again through that corner. They're really leaving nothing to chance, these guys. Final lap now. Jacoby 5 seconds out front. We're not seeing much of the PSR alien. He's out front. I knew he was going to be good around here, and he is really dominating massively around here. But I tell you, the other guy that is dominating the rest of the pack, he might be the best of the rest. But he's 9 seconds ahead of Dan and Greg that are in that tussle. So these two, Jacoby and Ollie, so far out front. But I tell you what, Wheels Racing is joining this little battle now. Oh, we've gone for a 3-car battle for the podium. Gamer Dan, Greg White and Wheels Racing. 3, 4 and 5 as we go down the long straight. Wheels will have a slipstream here. Greg White is 0.3 behind Gamer Dan and Wheels Racing is 0.6 behind Greg. Closing up on the braking and you can see there's absolutely nothing. We've got different lines through here. Oh, Dan making a very, very rare mistake and I think he's just lost 2 places. Dan. Oh my word, he's going to have to work very, very hard to try and get that back towards the end. Wheels Racing's picked up a half-second penalty. Gamer Dan would have seen that, but Dan getting it really loose through there. How on earth Greg and Wheels didn't collect, or Greg White goes really, really deep. I'm wondering if that was a position change. Did Greg take Dan out and he's given the place back? I do wonder, but that's enabled Wheels Racing to go through. So Wheels, who chose these cars on the racetrack tonight, he finds himself on the podium at the moment, but with a half-second penalty. Oh, this is going to be good at the end as we're going to come across the line. It is going to be Kobe and then Ollie's going to come across second, but third, is it going to be Wheels? Is it going to be Dan? Is it going to be Greg? I think unfortunately Wheels with the half-second penalty is gifted it to the guys behind. That is such a shame because that's going to turn into a 1 second. Gamer Dan does get third, Wheels gets fourth, Greg gets fifth. Jack Fury's going to come across in the Cornetto car to take sixth, with Hulky 7th and Jonesy in 8th. Really tight at the back there. So we've got a lovely little battle. 3 battles really going on in that race. And unfortunately, Wheels with that penalty cost him the podium. How... Ah, that must be really, really demoralising. I bet he's absolutely kicking himself right now for that penalty. And Jack Kobe out front. Well, he was back to really, really using all of the track and a little bit more. Pork Pie, good evening. Thank you for popping in. Unfortunately, that is going to be the last one for us tonight. I do need to call it a night at 11 o'clock at the moment. Just 2-hour streams. I'm hoping to get back to 3 or 4 hour streams again very soon. But for the moment, I do need to rest and get myself well so I can get back racing because I want to be racing with these guys. That was awesome tonight. Jack Kobe in the red car. For once, not a pink one. Out front with a 1:59.415 and the fastest lap coming from the back. He's an absolute genius around this circuit. One of the other geniuses around this circuit was Ollie. Look at that. He might have been 6 seconds behind Jack Kobe and he might have run from the front, but he's 18 seconds. Sorry, no, he's 12 seconds ahead, 12.5 seconds ahead of Gamer Dan. Gamer Dan and Wheels Racing very, very close on the line. Unfortunately, Wheels getting that 1 second penalty dropped him off the podium. As I said, he'll be kicking himself for that. Greg White, looks like he had to give the place back to Gamer Dan. I think that's why he went right wide into that corner, which did let Wheels through. But very respectful giving that place back. He's in 5th. Drat Fury in 6th, Hulky 7th, Jonesy in 8th. And those were your runners for the last one. Ollie says, Jack is just too good. He is around there, mate. He is stonkingly crazy, crazy quick around there. Guys, thank you ever so much for this evening. I am going to quit out there. I'm going to go onto the screen. Thank you so much to everybody that's raced this evening. It's been absolutely brilliant. Got a bit of hair sticking up there. That's headphone hair. I had my headphones on earlier on. Gamer Dan says, no, Greg didn't touch me, Mitch. Oh, okay. I wondered because Greg went really deep. So that was an unforced error from Greg at the end there. Oh, that's a real shame. That was a real shame because that was absolutely brilliant at the end there. Really, really great. So tomorrow, guys, you are going to be looking for the BMW M2. Beautiful car, this. Drives brilliantly. And if I can find it, I thought I had it. Let's do it this way. BMW M2. There we go. That's my M2 competition. So we'll be running that car tomorrow. Feel free to put a livery on it. Feel free to put a wing on it if you wish. Obviously, Bop will be on. Please, let's have some proper racing liveries. Not all the pink Barbie stuff. You know there's going to be pink. You know it's going to be pink tomorrow. So anyway, thank you to everybody that has raced with me this evening. Really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that has joined the stream, those that have liked and subscribed. Thank you so much for your support. It's very much appreciated. But I am going to head off to bed now, and we will be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow with more of the same. As I said, the BMW M2, around 4 tracks, don't know quite which ones they are. I will be throwing in a Tokyo East little drift one, and because I will see how the guys are drifting, unless of course people don't want to, in which case they can vote to not do that, and we'll see how we go. Gamer Dan says SpongeBob BMW M2, I just might have to kick you. Pink to make Mitch wink. Ollie, I might just have to boot you. Remember, guys, I have the power. I have the power. Oh, you know they're going to take the power away from me. You just know it. You know it. You know it. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you ever so much. If you haven't already, please smack the like button. And please catch up with me at 9 o'clock tomorrow. We will have the lobby open just before 9 o'clock. We'll be kicking off with the first qualifier at 10 past sharp. Hoping to get 4 more cracking races in with qualifiers and, well, more phenomenal racing for your enjoyment and your entertainment tomorrow from these most amazing racers that race with us every night. Just absolutely phenomenal. Have a great night, morning, evening, day, afternoon, whatever you're doing. Have a great one. I'll see you again tomorrow. For now, take care. Bye-bye.